How is everyone? My name is Dinesh Silva. I'm the founder and CEO of NetStripes, and a big welcome to everybody. It's great to have you join us today. Before we get started, I'd like everyone to go into the chat and introduce yourself. Tell us your name, tell us about your business. And I know typically people take time to log in and they have issues logging in, etc. So I'm going to give about 5 minutes for everybody to come in. So if you have to go and grab yourself a cup of tea or cup of coffee or even a beer being 4 p.m., please go and do that. So big welcome to everybody. It's really great to have you join us today. You may have had I'm hoping you've had a great day. Some of you must be quite busy and quite tired as well. So I'm delighted to have you join us. So let's get started sharp at about 4:04, maybe 4:05, but because I know people take time to log in. So grab yourself a cup of coffee. In the meantime, go to the chat, because I want to also make sure that everybody knows how to use the buttons here. Go to the chat and tell us your name. Tell us your business so that you can meet some people here as well. And of course, we'll try and do something else to connect with each other. So tell us your name. Great to have you join us. So go to the chat. But by the way, when you're at the chat, there's a button saying "to" at the bottom. Make sure it says "to all panelists and attendees" so that everybody on the webinar can see you. All right, so let's do that. And if you have to grab yourself a cup of coffee, please do that now. Don't forget to introduce yourself on the chat. It's a great way for us to get to know each other. So Sharon, great to have you join us. Sharon's a mortgage broker. Big welcome, Sharon. Which part of the country or the world are you from? So let us know so that, if there's anybody who needs a mortgage broker, of course, Sharon's from Cronulla in Sydney. Fabulous. Welcome, Sharon. Hope your business is doing well during COVID. Others, please go. I know there are quite a few others on the webinar today. We have several hundred whenever we run these sessions each week who register. And great to have you join us. Maxi, big welcome. Great to have you join us. Maxi is from Melbourne. Maxi is also a mortgage broker. He's from Vic Mobile Brokers. Big welcome. Fabulous. Caroline, big welcome. That's great to have you join us. Another mortgage broker. I believe you guys are from the FBAA, and big welcome to all the members. All right. We're going to get started in about a minute because I'm going to give some time for those who are still logging in to come on, because we have quite a few who've registered for this webinar today. So those who haven't introduced yourself, go to the chat and do that so that we get to know each other. And although these are virtual events, we can get to meet each other virtually too, can't we? And there are social events. It's about social media. So social media is about engagement. Again, to get social media success, we have to go out of our comfort zones. We have to go and put ourselves out there. And it's actually more behavioral change than anything. For a lot of you, LinkedIn might be a really valuable channel. So again, make sure that you are connecting with others, you're engaging with others, you're also going and commenting on other people's posts as well, instead of expecting everybody to engage with us. So I'm going to get started now. As I said, it's 4:04. So let's get started. Welcome, big welcome to Social Media Secrets. For those who came a bit later, my name is Dinesh Silva. I'm the founder and CEO of NetStripes. For those who are new to today and do not know about NetStripes, NetStripes helps small and medium-sized businesses and business owners to transition their traditional business model to a digitally successful business. We have done this. We have worked in the last 3 years or so with over 5,000 business owners. We've helped them through educational programs. Before I'm talking, these are face-to-face programs. So we've met a lot of you through the strategy advisory we do, but also the web solutions we do. And the idea is to help these businesses to transition from their traditional models to digitally successful models in the fastest and in the most affordable manner. We believe we are the best in the country when it comes to small business digital transition. And we worked with governments, and we will share with you some of the industry associations and governments we also work with. How do you get results today? Most of you who come here, I know, want results. And most of you are business people. We want business results. It's not likes and shares that we want. I'm going to teach you a strategy, and I'm going to teach you the fundamentals, because, you know, lots of people learn tricks and all types of tips of how to do social media. But the real secret is to follow a formula. I want to teach you that formula today, and I want to talk about algorithms, and I'm going to teach you a strategy. So I'll need 100% of your attention. If you have come today expecting to be on your laptop, do some emails in the meantime, I urge you not to do that, because if you, I have over 20 years of experience, and as I mentioned, we work with so many business owners. We can help to give you some, so to help you to transition so that you can get business results. So please look forward to having your attention. Now, NetStripes' vision has been, from the day we started in 2014, was to empower 1 million small and medium enterprises to accelerate their growth through digital innovation. We've helped thousands of business owners right now. We have about 15,000 in our NetStripes community, but we have a lot more work to do. We are fortunate that we work with multiple industry associations and local governments to carry this vision forward, because these industry associations and these governments, including the New South Wales government, we used to work for over 3.5 years as the exclusive provider, have this same vision to help small businesses to have that transition to digital. So if you're from any one of these organizations, a big welcome. All right, so this is what we're going to cover today. Have a quick look, and then I'm going to go into, we're going to do some practical stuff. So Faith, who is going to be assisting me, will share a link. Faith, please share the profile link to my LinkedIn. I want every one of you to go to that link. As soon as Faith does that share. Faith, are you there? Yes, it's already there. So click on that link. And once you go there, let me share with you my screen. I'm going to look at another screen so that you will see exactly, oops. There you go. So that's the link you're seeing. So let's connect. I know these are virtual events, but we can still get to know each other virtually. And the best way to do that is connect with me here. Once you've connected with me here, one of the things I want to show you is, if you come down here, I'm going to show you a little trick. Now, if you're here and you want to connect with somebody, you never know how many people they are connected with. All right. So I'm going to teach you a little trick. So if you come a bit below here under activity, you can see how many people they're connected with. So there you go. I've told you a neat little secret there. Now, if you go and click on this link here, so click on that link. So once you click on that link, you will come here. Now, one of the things I want you to do is go to the comment here. Write about your business. Everybody knows your name, because when you write something, write about your business and say how you help customers, okay? Because that's the way you connect. Say that you are at this session or what you want to learn, but also say what your business is and who you help. And at the same time, during the day, I'll go and make comments there, and that's the way we do social, okay? So go and introduce yourself so that the next people who are connected to me and the NetStripes greater community will get to know you, and you will meet others. Once you've done that, go and connect with a few other people who are already are at this session. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to do that. While you do that, I'm going back to the presentation, and I will discuss what we are going to cover today. So as I said earlier, we're going to start with the fundamentals. I'm going to discuss some strategies that the experts use. This is how the experts do social media, guys. They don't just go and keep posting. They follow a formula, and I'm going to teach you that formula. I'm going to discuss about algorithms. Facebook and Instagram and all the LinkedIn platforms are about algorithms. We have to understand how these operate and try to outsmart them. And then we'll do some tips and tricks for the social media platforms, and then there'll be quite a few that I'll be sharing with you live as well. All right, so let's get to the next page. Okay. This program is part of the Futurize Your Business series. Futurize is part of NetStripes programs that we work with industry associations and governments to transition their members to digitally successful businesses. It's in 3 parts. And it starts with crucial insights with webinars like this. Then we go on to provide you with the digital competence that you need to build within your companies to transition to digitally successful businesses. And that's when you start reinventing your business. We'll discuss that at length. Social media success factors is so important as part of crucial insights. And this one is called social media secrets, as we know. Understanding the platforms is the most important thing we need to do when we are on social media, because each of the platforms we deal with are different. LinkedIn is different to Facebook, Facebook is different to Instagram, and Instagram is different to Twitter and TikTok or whatever platform that you choose. So it is in this understanding of these platforms that we get results. And I spoke about this earlier. All these platforms operate based on algorithms. There are 3.8 billion people on social media. So when social media platforms deliver you information on their news feed or on your news feed, when you're on their platform, they want to make sure that you do not leave that platform. They want to engage you as long as they can. So these algorithms help them to engage you and all the users on their platform as long as they can. But they also want to make you addicted to these platforms. and they use multiple strategies that gives you multiple uh, uh, so your dopamine gets really get high doses of dopamine so that you do not leave these platforms and you keep coming back to them. So let's look at the Facebook algorithm. Facebook algorithm is a process that ranks a process that ranks all available posts that can be displayed on a user's newsfeed based on how likely that user will have a positive reaction. So I said earlier, there are 3.8 billion people on social media. There are over 2 billion people on Facebook. So they want to make sure that when you or your customer is on Facebook, that they have the best experience and they have the best, they are so captivated by that experience that they don't leave, they get engaged. So what do? They need to show you or show your user or your customer the most, the post out of all the posts that are available, the ones that they will get have a positive reaction with. So that's something we can remember. So what do? They have 4 factors in their algorithm. It starts with the inventory. So at any given time, they'll have probably thousands or tens of thousands they can. So if you take your news feed, that they can put in your news feed, but you have limited attention. They want all of your attention. So out of all that inventory, they will go and check what is the timing of this post that somebody has made. How many likes have they got? How many shares have they got? What is the type of popularity of the post made by this business? So let's take this example. Your customer has just taken their phone. So they've taken their phone and they've gone onto Facebook. They're on the Facebook news feed. Now you have posted something. Facebook will look at all the inventory, look at your Facebook page to see how many followers you've had, how many likes you've had, what type of engagement you've had in the past, but also what time is it now that you're posting. And based on that, it'll make predictions. And based on those predictions, it gives you a final score. And it is based on that final score that Facebook will decide whether they're going to show it on your customer's newsfeed or not. Now, this we got to understand. And then how do we understand that? So that's something that we will be discussing today. To learn about this stuff a lot more, I interviewed Alex Sloan. Alex is the marketing director for Facebook and Instagram, of course, because Facebook owns Instagram and WhatsApp for Australia and New Zealand. And that interview, if you go to YouTube, will be on YouTube this week. So wait for that. Listen to Alex. Alex talks about how businesses are doing during COVID. Of course, he's not going to tell us about the algorithm. That's a secret. What we have done is we've deciphered this through massive research that we conduct. So what you need to know to beat this algorithm is who is your ideal customer. Because there are 3.8 billion users on social media, everybody can't be your customer. Sorry, I'm going the wrong way, I apologize. So there are 3.8 billion users on social media, everybody can't be a customer. So we need to know your ideal customer in a lot more detail than most of us typically know. As I mentioned, I've worked with over 5,000 business owners. The biggest issue why people are not connecting and engaging customers on social media is because they don't know their customer in a narrow sense. They don't know, they know them in a broad sense, but they don't clearly know what their pains are, what their needs are. And that's what we need to do. We have a program that teaches you how to do this, but in summary, do we know the compelling problems of our customers? Are we resolving this compelling pain? So, especially during COVID, what are the problems? What are the pains your customers are going through? And are we resolving these problems? Are we touching on them? Do we discuss them? Do we show empathy during our post? Because if you don't really know them, we can't create empathy. And when there's no empathy, there's no engagement. What are the emotions our solutions help create? What are the emotions your posts are creating? Are you making them laugh or are you making them cry? People are on social media, as you know, when they're relaxing, they don't want to be sold. So what are you doing through the post you're creating? And what's your message? What's your message? This is the stuff that people are not getting right. You know that nearly everybody is on social media, but engagement is not right. And there are a lot of reasons why people are not engaging, and the reasons are that they are not clear enough. It's all about strategy to understand your customers in a deep sense and then to connect with them. We had a lady from the FBAA who had followed one of our programs, who spoke about how she had struggled trying to do this stuff through multiple iterations of social websites and social media, but how she did this very fast. And I'll discuss that process as well. What is the fastest, cheapest way to reach them? Which channel, not channels, okay? Which channel is best to reach them? You might think, oh my goodness, I have to be on every channel. I have to be on email. I have to do everything. I have no time. Exactly the point. As business owners, you need to be careful with your time. You have to not waste your time on social media. You've got to be targeted. And that's about knowing your strategy. And that starts with your financial goal. So you might say, why is Dinesh discussing this stuff? This is called Social Media Secrets because we've researched over 10,000 business owners. We've met over 5,000 people, and we understand why people are not getting the results. So your sales goal, if it's 1 million, just this is an example. And if your annual value of an average client, a typical client does about $100,000 worth of business with you. Say you're a builder, for instance, and you're doing renovations or small renovations at that. You need to win 10 clients per year. If your win percentage, if you talk to 10 good clients, good leads, how many of them do you win? A lot of people tell me, if I speak to 10 good people, I'll win 7 of them. Some people have told me 8, 10, but I'm going really low. I'm saying if you win 4 out of 10, how many qualified leads do you need to get 10 clients a year? That's 40. So this is very simple. You guys have worked this out. So then we got to work out how much traffic do we need to drive to our website. Sorry. So that's a very targeted approach. And some of you might say, I know this stuff, but are you doing it? Is this the way you're doing it? That's the question we have to ask. A lot of this stuff we know, but is it ingrained in our practice? That's what's important. So these are the metrics that we got to know. LTV, lifetime value of our customer. CSC is the customer acquisition cost. CPC is cost per click, and CI is the conversion rate. Okay, so conversion rate here is we win 4 out of 10 clients. However, what's the conversion rate from here to here? That we don't know yet. How do we work that out? We'll discuss that. I'll show what we do at NetStripes. So that brings, by the way, before I go to elsewhere, I'm sure you know this stuff: reach, engagement, audience growth, social media. You need to build your audience. At what rate is your audience growing? If social media is important to you, you need to do this stuff. So before I go into anything with social media, we need to understand there are two universal truths in digital marketing. If you did my other previous webinars, you'll know this. So, and social media and digital marketing is so confusing. I want to make it so simple for you. And the two universal truths are, or the two principles are, one is to drive the right traffic to your website. Okay, so we don't drive any traffic. We don't want any traffic, but we want to drive the right traffic to our websites. And then we've got to convert that traffic into leads and into sales. And as you know, it is these sales that gives us customers, and customers are the lifeblood of organizations. It's these customers who gives us referral customers, through word of mouth, and then of course they give us repeat business. So customers are so important, but to get those customers, we must remember these two principles. So I'm going back here. These are the only two things, if you remember, at this webinar, I want you to remember. If you know this stuff, you can be successful. The two principles are: one, you drive the right traffic to our websites, to your website. Number two, you convert that traffic into leads and into sales. So it is your website that converts that traffic. So how do you know how much traffic comes into your website? Here you go. If you take, there's a tool called Google Analytics. I'm not going to go through that here, but it's free to use, free to install. Actually, probably somebody might charge you a couple of bucks. It should be free. Ask your web developers to get it done if it's already not installed. It says how many users have come in. In this case, there are 627 users. They've had 1,200 page views. Unfortunately, there's a bounce rate of 74%. That means people have come in and they have 74% have left without, signing on to anything, going to another page, without any engagement. So all the social media traffic that we are driving here is wasted. 3/4 of our marketing investment is wasted. So this is why I said earlier, we got to do this stuff the way the experts do it. Digital marketing is about data. It's about algorithms. It's about ones and zeros. So you've got to look at the data and make decisions. You guys are mortgage brokers, and I know there are quite a few mortgage brokers here, and of course there'll be other businesses here as well. But you know your numbers, and it's a numbers game. The other thing you need to know is, how do I know whether it's the right traffic? If you go here under demographics, it will show you the ages and what type of people, the sex and the gender, everything. But also, if you come here under geo, it will tell you the geography, which locations these people have come. So there you go. Here is a little tool I've given you that will show you the two principles in action. So guys, make this easy for you. Now, let's take a practical view. You did all your social media right. And if this was your website and you drove traffic to this, there's a good chance all your effort is going to be wasted. And that's why a lot of the time, a lot of businesses have a bounce rate this high. Sometimes it's about 80, 90%. People come in, they spend 2 to 4 seconds and they leave. However, this is the same business. They had to change their business to look like that. Now, if you come into a place like this, as you come into a phone, that's what you see. Of course, it's a different view, and it is very clear. It's captivating. It's engaging. It tells you a story, and that's what's important. Of course, that's what the first piece you see. Then we keep scrolling down, and then we see the rest and read it very quickly as you guys do. All right, so this is the NetStripes website. Again, these are all, they have to be designed to a formula. There are things that you must nail. If you don't nail them, you'll drive traffic, nothing happens. So one of the biggest issues people have is they spend a lot of money on social media and Google AdWords and SEO, but they don't get the results. So here you go. This is NetStripes. If you look at it, this is between June 2019 and about January. Our bounce rate is 6.85. So we practice this stuff. However, in February, we rebranded ourselves and we changed the website. What happened? This went up to about 40%. Fair dinkum, really, it went up to 40%. So what did we do? We made sure we looked at the data and reviewed and made changes. All right. So that's driving the traffic, okay? Now, once you drive the traffic, how do you know whether you're converting them? Remember I asked the conversion percentage? Here you go. This is NetStripes. We're driving this week in September. So it's a couple of last week or so. We've driven 684 people and we've converted 191 of them into leads. So there you go, guys. That's a 20% conversion rate, which is really good. So if you look at this to see the week before that or the month before that, so this is consistent, as you can see. It's about 30%. Before that, it's about 30% again. So that's conversion in practice. So there's no point driving social traffic if we're not converting it. All right, so these are the secrets of getting your social media right. So before you go into social media, we have to get a few things right. So this is what we call, this is the NetStripes digital transformation process. This is one of the major innovations that have helped thousands of businesses across the country, okay? Businesses, I mentioned there was a member of the FBAA who was here last week at our webinar, who was telling us how she had struggled for 3 years and spent so much, tens of thousands of dollars, and she wasn't getting results. And then within days and weeks, suddenly everything changed for her. The way she looked at her business changed. And suddenly she realized, oh my goodness, my customers are not these people. I have to stop wasting my time with them. They're what I call tie kickers. I need to only focus on these people. Now, how is it that she didn't have that clarity earlier? She was an extremely smart person, had about 20 years experience in the industry, but a switch went off. I'll show you what that switch was. So today, you are here. This is the start of your digital transformation process, and we have to work focused on your goals. The next part is to build the right knowledge and competence so that you are very clear, like this lady said the other day, what our strategy should be. How to navigate in this digital world. As you know, today we're doing social media. Social media is step 5. This is where we bring in the data, but if we do not get the website and the branding and strategy and the knowledge right, this stuff is so important before you do this stuff here. So what I'm trying to show you is a 5-step process each of you can go to achieve this digital transition. It starts with knowledge. Then you get the strategy. Strategy is in 3 parts: a customer strategy. So social media is about customer strategy. We've got to nail it. We've got to know exactly who our ideal customers are, get our service strategy fine-tuned to that ideal customer so that then we start resonating with them. We've got to get our language right so that, and then we've got our online brand design right. Finally, you improve your website. Most of you will already have websites, and then you start promoting, because otherwise you're promoting and spending a lot of money on social media, and you're not getting the results. Because when you look at this data here, what it's showing us is that you're having a huge bounce rate, nothing is happening, conversion is low. And so what you've got to do is to look at your data currently, review and see what review and improve you have to do during this stage. But even to do the review and improve, you need this knowledge, and this knowledge and strategy is fundamental before you start going there. And let me tell you, this doesn't take a day to get. Not a day. People take years to do this stuff. And this strategy can happen between 90 and 120 minutes. All right. I'll come to this later. By the way, no, I'll do this now. Anybody who wants to get the strategy right, each week we give up to 5 advisories free of charge. Let me put some perspective here. When we used to do this digital strategy advisory for the big banks, the likes of the big retailers, we charge over $500 an hour for digital strategy advisory. So these 5 are free. Typically, we have a lot of people asking for it. We try, if we have time, we try to accommodate 2 or 3 others. So go in there. Faith will give you the link. You can register for that. You will see what I mean, because I want you to practice. I want you to know what I discussed here in practice. All right. So how do we outsmart the Facebook algorithm? Video is a fundamentally important way of doing social media, because what does video do? It keeps the watcher of the video on the platform for longer. So what does Facebook want? Facebook wants their users to stay on the platform, okay? So whether it's Instagram or Facebook, incorporate video. It is so important. Activate your brand's most powerful advocates. Get all the people who love your brand. These are your customers, not your friends and family, because they're not your ideal customers. You've got to make sure your ideal customers now are activated. So if you get your friends and family to do it, what will happen is it'll show your stuff to other people like your friends and family, but that's not your target market. So that's useless. Make sure your posts are unique, okay? Narrow your audience, we discussed that. See first. I'm going to show you something on Facebook a little while later to show you how fast Facebook changes the algorithm. Facebook has made massive changes, as you will know, this year. Between last week and this week, they have changed the Facebook page and the way you do things. I was going to show you a little secret. And when I went and tested it today, they had changed it. That's how fast they do things. And also, your organic posts, that means the posts you just put in there free of charge, are shown to only about 2% of your followers, really. If you're putting something important, make sure you boost it. Even if you put $1 a day for 7 days, boost that post, because then you can look at the data and see, is this a winner or not? If it's a winner, put another $7 and watch it for another week. The good thing is, if you, in case you say you put a nice video, it has great engagement, then and you've created a few videos, you keep putting money into it, because you have these little minions working for you. They are little salespeople who work for you. Free of charge or at a very low cost. So that's the power of getting some good videos going and boosting them. So continue doing that. 7 ways to outsmart the Instagram algorithm. More video content. Image quality, of course, is important for Instagram. Video content is super important. Harness the power of hashtags. I'll go to hashtags a bit later. Compelling questions, okay? Run a contest or giveaways. Make sure you get the timing of your post, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, is essential. And more important is the consistency. Now, a big mistake a lot of people do is they go and Google and say, what's the best time to post on Facebook? What's the best time to post on Instagram? They look at some research that was done in the US, and then people start using that research. But this is Australia, and your customers in your industry might have different work times they use social media. So you got to look at your data, go to Facebook Insights and look at the data in there. And make sure, use stories. Facebook stories are powerful. I did say I'll talk about hashtags. There are multiple ways you can use hashtags. You can use brand hashtags. So if you're in finance, you could say Apex Finance, that's your brand. Industry is finance, so you say the industry hashtag. Now, one of the things you got to remember is when you're using a broad hashtag like finance, you could have millions on it. So you may want to put mortgage broking if you're a mortgage broker, or you could say mortgage broker Sydney. Or finance Sydney, or SME finance Sydney, or commercial finance Sydney. So you got to get a bit narrower, okay? You can tag the location there, and you can have a broader location here as well. In this case, if you're working from the Byron Bay, why not? Anybody can work from anywhere these days. That's the power of digital. Use your location. Valentine's Day, or Valentine's Day is gone, we just had Father's Day. What I'm saying is use the hashtag. It could be Christmas. In love, talks about emotions. So you get the gist of it. I won't go through each one of them. All right, hashtags. One of the things we do is I hate hashtag spam, and the algorithms hate it too. So if on LinkedIn, 9 looks to be the maximum number you should be using. People use up to 29, 30, and that's really bad. In this case, the top brands are using about 2, as you can see. If you're using Facebook, 1 or 2 hashtags are the best. Maximum is about 3. LinkedIn is about 2, as you can see. So, 3 social tips that everybody must remember. Engaging posts are customer-centric, they're employee-centric, and they could be product or product-centric as well. You can run contests. It's about great visuals, images, and audio. Remember that. If you're using them, make sure they are good. Use apps to enhance your post. These days, your phone, you can, if you're on Instagram, Instagram has its own filters. You can use Photoshop, which is free. It's an app you can download. Or in my case, I use Photoshop, or I use the app that I have in my photo app. Has great ways of refining and editing the photo as well. Consider using influencers, and we'll discuss about Instagram influencers and other influencers as well. It's about visuals, okay? So that's something for us to remember. I'm not advertising these guys. They attended the webinar, and I liked some of their images, and here you go. Now, if you're on Instagram, Instagram is about telling a story. It's visual. Now, make sure if you're using filters, they all match. If you notice in here, these 2 don't quite match. So they've been trying to use filters and to create a story, tell a story, and they don't match. Even on NetStripe's Instagram page, if you look at it, we don't try to match it, but if that's important to you, and Instagram is your main channel, you got to do it. Instagram is not our main channel. Look at this, Butcher's daughter, beautifully matched. Everything works together. Here you go, some great photography. Again, this is Instagram. You can take photos like this on your phone. Yes, absolutely, on a smartphone. And you can use filters. You know, it's about practice. As you practice, you will get better. These guys are, you know, wedding caterers. Obviously, when they have a wedding, they do it up well, so they have opportunities to take photos. Now, let's talk about influencers. These 2 guys, they're 20-something guys. When they started this teeth whitening product, they went to Kylie Jenner, who had 184 followers. and their business absolutely took off. So that's what Kylie Jenner did. There you go, High Smile was the product. And so they thought big. They were young guys, they thought big. They thought, let's go to the Kardashians. Who else has the biggest following? They probably thought, who has the best following? Who is the best for our industry? Now, the message here is not about High Smile, it's about you. Who is the best influencer for you? I showed you that I interviewed Alex Sloan, who's a marketing director for Facebook. She's a great influencer for us, right? So we practice what you preach, and I'll show you a few other instances of interviews as well. Prince William and Kate were coming to Australia. I thought that would be a great opportunity for people if you're in design or fashion, or if you're doing a charity. These guys would be superb. Imagine if you got the Duchess to wear your dress. Is that possible? Absolutely, it is possible. Let me show you some proof. When these guys came, this is Harry and Meghan, Prince Harry, of course, and Meghan Markle. These jeans were made by Aussie business, Mount Tambourine couple from the Gold Coast. They're ethically sourced jeans made by Cambodian women rescued from human trafficking. Now, how do you do this? You might be asking. It's not so hard. Would you like to know? Now, if you want to know, I need you to put your hand up. How many of you would like to know? Hands up. If everybody puts their hand up, I'm going to show you. If even one person doesn't put their hand up, I'm not going to show you, because this is a huge secret. Hands up, guys. Let me see your hands up. I'm not seeing enough. Come on, more hands up. All right, good, good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Let's make it interactive, okay? So let me now, I'm going to Facebook now. All right. So if you go to Facebook, I'm not going to show you how to create an ad. It's that's easy to do. You don't need me to teach that. I'm going to teach you better stuff. If you want to learn to create an ad, Faith will put a blog in which has several 2-minute videos of how to create ads. They're super simple. All right. So once you've decided that on the type of campaign, you've got to come and choose the location. Okay. So in this case, I've chosen Australia, but I don't need Australia. I need only the United Kingdom. So I go here, I go under detailed targeting, and I go and type in Buckingham. Now, as I'm typing in Buckingham, you'll see Buckingham Palace, and it says people who are employed by the Buckingham Palace. These people have listed themselves as employed by the Buckingham Palace. So now I've chosen them. So now when you upload an ad, your ad will be shown to these people. How cool is that? So you can show your ad to the right people. Now let me show you something else while I'm here. If you're a mortgage broker, I know there are quite a few mortgage brokers. You want to work with, say, people of a particular origin, or say expats, for instance, right? So I'll type in expats. There you go. You can go and select, if you're working in a particular community, you can go and select, it says, look, if you lived in India, lived in the Philippines, Nigeria, Spain, Argentina, Kenya, Canada, Sweden. So you can go and find people who have migrated here, because they may be first-home buyers, or they could be upgraders. So there you go. Or you could go and look for people who have marked themselves as newly married, right? Just married. So people who've just married a couple of years ago might be first-home buyers. So like this, this detailed targeting is so powerful. It's so powerful. It's not funny. I don't have the time to go through all this here, but go to one of the advisories, that the strategy session I said, and you can ask the advisor how to do more of this stuff catered to your business. But before you do, make sure that the traffic that you're driving, before you spend a cent on marketing, make sure the traffic you're driving is converting into leads. Otherwise, you're spending thousands of dollars, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars, and you're not getting results. Okay, so there you go. That's a really cool, cool tip. While I'm here, I'm going to show you something else about on Facebook. I did promise to show you this. Now, when I was talking about outsmarting the algorithm, there was a point saying see first. Before Facebook changed everything, or if you clicked here, it said there was a thing called see first there. And you pressed on see first, and what it does is you can tell your followers to mark you as see first, and they'll see your post before anybody else's. So if you have your ardent fans of your business, go and tell them to do that. And your job is to post really valuable content so that they benefit from your post, right? Not just to say, put stuff that sells. Our job is to engage people and have funny stuff and engaging stuff and information that is educative. Now, what they've done, they've come to follow settings. They put a button here and they put it in there under follow settings. Even I couldn't find it 2 weeks ago when I looked. Now, today when I looked, I couldn't find it either. So what they've done now is they've put this, where it says favorites was called see first. Now it's called favorites, and you've got to get them to mark it here. So if you go in and mark that, you will see first. So now I've marked that, okay? And I can go and update that. All right, so I'm going to show you another little trick. So if you are on your Facebook page, your business Facebook page, and you have people who liked it. So you come here, in this post, there are 14 people who liked it. Now, if you're on your own Facebook page, this is not mine, this is another company. These guys are customers, by the way. Their food is unbelievable. I'm not joking. They deliver home as well, and they are quite cheap. Again, I'm not getting paid for advertising. I see here as add a friend. You will see it, or Fabio, if he was on here, he'll see it as request connection or something like that. Request to connect. So all you do is you go click, 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 click. That's a nice way of increasing your audience. Okay, that's a really nice, cheap way. Now, you remember I went and said see first here. Okay, now I'm going to go and click my home button here. This is going to be my newsfeed. If I come to my newsfeed, by the way, this is a NetStripes post.
Playing from desktop 5K0472.
Ignore that. That's somebody, my computer tried to talk to me. So that's a NetStripes post. That's a NetStripes post. And ideally, if I look at this tomorrow, I will see bespoke catering post coming up on top, because I've already said NetStripes see first. I'm seeing that. And I'll see a second one will be an ad. If you go to your Facebook feed, always the second one will be an ad, okay? So those are the things you got to remember. So that's why it is worth boosting. It's okay. So this is Meghan Markle. I showed you how to make sure the right people notice you. Oh, by the way, I didn't show you one more thing. I must show you another little trick. Once this is, by the way, Facebook. When you're here, say you wanted to get in front of the media. You've written some article, you've done a video, and you want to get this in the media. This is how you do it. You can go Sky Business. Oh, sorry, Sky News. There you go. All the people who've listed as Sky News. You want to get to Fairfax, you go and say Fairfax. All the people who've said Fairfax are my employer, you select. So that's the way to get in front of the media. So I've told you some really cool tips. These are actually these are absolute expert secrets, guys. Okay, let's go. Now, let me show you something else. Not only that, the Duchess wore the jeans from the Mount Tambourine couple, the Duchess also wore that dress. And read what it says here. Meghan Markle's decision to wear Australian designer's dress sparks website meltdown. That's to drive the right traffic. Are you with me? This is why you use influencers. So again, here's an Aussie influencer. You can use Aussie influencer. I'm going to show you, and by the way, she's got 2 million, and I watched this video. She's actually quite good. So depending on who your influencers are, pick them. If you're in mortgage broking, this probably lady won't be good. If you're in building, she won't be good. But if you're having a product like this, she'd be good. All right, the power of video. So if you're creating a video, what you have to remember is keep it at less than 60 seconds. There's a video on my LinkedIn. You'll see I've kept it less than 60 seconds. I'm not going to do it here. Normally I do that stuff here, but to take one of your businesses and create a video on the fly here, but I'm not going to do it today because of time. So there are 4 things you must do. You create a hook. You state the problem. Then you state your solution, then you have a call to action. It has to be less than 60 seconds because people don't watch more than that. When you put it on Facebook, make sure that you boost it and say $7 or $10 over 7 days, look at the data, and then you decide whether you're going to keep it. If it's really good in terms of reach and engagement, and there's massive engagement, not massive, it's a good engagement for the $10 you spend another $10. Look at the data again, and that's what you do. The first time you create a video, it probably won't be that good. Now let me show you how to create a hook. So if you are, I know there were a few mortgage brokers here. So you're talking about a first home buyer. I'll just say a first home buyer. It could be an investor, it could be an upgrader, it could be a I don't know who, right? But if it's a first home buyer, the first home buyer, the problem could be that they can't get access to finance because of their circumstances. They could be running a business, or they could be too young or whatever. So they may have got knocked back before, and that's a huge problem. Their property dream they might feel their property dream is out of them. So that's the hook. So you could say, are you looking to buy a first home, and have you been already knocked back by a few people? I mean, if your property dream looks very far, I don't want you to stress about it because there are solutions to handle that. Read the blog below where I give you 7 tips of making sure you can get your loan, and leave a comment on what you think. Right? So that way you're not telling them to buy from you. You're saying read the blog below and leave a comment. So that's a very soft way of talking. And when they leave a comment, you know who they are. Right? So that's what you want. You want engagement. Then once you've created one video, you can create another video. The second video could be more to be targeted at the people who watched the first video. They know you now, so, and you know their problem. So your second video is more about those 3 things they can do. And at the end of the second one, say, if you need to know more, you may want to have a 15-minute call with me. Here's my number, or here's my email address. So you can play around with it. Typically do about 3 videos, and you can show the second video to the people who've seen the first video. And again, you can ask our strategist how to do that. You book the session. Here you go, guys. We do this stuff. So for all you folk out there who think I'm a theorist, we are not theorists. We practice this stuff. Go to our YouTube channel, Go and connect there. There are lots of fabulous examples. This gentleman here went from zero, having a business idea, to creating a business over $1 million in less than 12 months. Oh, sorry, little over 12 months. This lady here tripled her revenue in an 18-month period, and she struggled before that. This gentleman here, all the event catering closed down, and he talks about how he's created a new line of business and how he's pivoted, and with zero marketing dollars. I'm telling you, zero marketing dollars, because that's why you have to get this formula. I thought you're right. 10 social media advertising tips. I won't spend too much time here, but very quickly, got to get the headline right, got to get the image quality right. It has to be relevant. What you're talking about has to be relevant for the times. It has to be relevant for the audience. And always have a limited time offer if you're offering something. The ad copy, make sure there's urgency. There are compelling reasons. There's some social proof. 2 out of 8, sorry, that's hopeless. 4 out of 5 people have had this, have had success here, or 68% have this issue. Are you one of them? Action verbs like try, test, get, receive. Of course, persuasive words, and you'll see Canva using it very strategically there. Test and iterate. It's all about data here. So you just spend a little bit of money, don't spend a ton of money, spend a little bit of money, drive the traffic, see whether it's working. Finally, go back to the basics. I showed you digital marketing is about driving the right traffic and converting that traffic. I showed you after that, the 5-step process. So I taught you the 2 principles of digital marketing and then the 5-step process. You start with knowledge. A lot of you I know want to take a shortcut. You don't want to do the stuff at the beginning, and that's when you don't get the results. I'll be coming back to the 5 steps, and I'll spend some time on it because I want to really emphasize the importance on it, because you must get business results. Tip number 10 for social media, because there were 10 here, one there, yes. If you are advertising, make sure when you drive traffic from an ad like this, the landing page they get to or the website has relevance. So the idea is if you're selling red socks, give them red socks. If you advertise red socks on the ad, make sure they come to the page that has red socks. If you're talking about first home buyers, whatever, that page they come to must have about first home buyers. Don't take them to your general home page or general mortgage page. It has to be very specific. Here's us. We do this stuff again. We tried another ad. So we are testing, as I said, we test and trial. We trialed with people, and then we trial without people to see what works better, okay? Again, we're driving traffic from this ad to a landing page to convert. This is the blog I was talking about with a lot of how-to videos. Faith will put that up on the chat. Faith, please do that if you haven't already done that. If you've already done it, I appreciate if you can do it again. There you go. Faith, you are so efficient. Thank you so much. My team who are here to support you, we have Faith here. We have Thor. Thor is one of our digital associates. Thor is the person who makes sure that if you need to talk to somebody, Thor is the person who will connect you with one of our advisors or myself. LinkedIn, this is super important, okay. What affinity does a professional in a day job mindset likely to have for your product, service, or offer? Now, this is the #1 question you must be able to answer before you get on LinkedIn. If you can't answer this, do not do LinkedIn, because you need to decide before you go onto a platform, is this platform for me? Instagram, I spoke about earlier, might not be the platform for you, so don't do Instagram. Facebook might not be the platform for you. Then don't do Facebook. You got to select what's my number one channel to market. We do this stuff. We know what our number one channel to market. For us, actually, it's not social media. We have multiple other channels. We had multiple other channels, but social media is not our number one channel. Create contacts that matter. All right, I'm going to show you this in action. Okay. Connect with people who can make a difference. By the way, I didn't do one thing. According to LinkedIn, this is according to LinkedIn, right? A female's photo drives the best click-through rates. So if you're advertising, remember that. Publish articles that make people feel something. This is very important in every part of social media, even on LinkedIn. In LinkedIn, a lot of us think it's our business, doesn't have to feel. People love to have an emotion, even if that emotion is pride. Okay, connect with people who can make a difference. Saved searches are super important. I'll go into that. I'll show you that in practice. Use the experience section on your profile to make sure that you articulate your business and your value proposition strongly. This is a mistake. A lot of people don't get it right. Build relationships with targeted contacts. And then, so you're building relationships, right? So you're engaging on their post as well. That's what I mean by building relationships. You engage with them, make a few comments, show them that, and be genuine, right? And then find strategies to meet these people offline. So that's something you can do easily. So let me show you how to do this live. I'm now going out to LinkedIn. Let's go here. By the way, I'm looking at my other screen. I'm not ignoring you. And I typed in lawyer, okay? And then I selected people here because otherwise you get jobs and content, companies. I'm not interested in any of them. I'm not looking for a job or content, neither are you. You are looking for people. And then you can go and select your direct connections or the connections of their connections, okay? So in this case, I put 1 and 2. And then what you can do is you can select locations. But more importantly, you can go here to all filters and you can say, I want people from, say, Sydney, Australia, or if you're from Melbourne, you can say Melbourne. You select, I'm from Sydney, so I'm going to pick Sydney. And then you go and apply, okay? As soon as I apply, I get 6,700 people. Now that's a lot of people. I can't connect with that many people. I don't have the time for that, okay? So, and imagine if I didn't have Sydney, Australia, how many people did I have before that? 18,000 people, that's too many. So that's why we gotta get targeted. So we then can get super targeted. One of the things I want to show you is, I can even go and say, who are the people who are just connected to me, right? And I want to go and engage with them, but I really want to connect with somebody. So take this person, William Atto, okay. Got to remember how to spell his name. So I go to all filters. I want to connect with other lawyers connected to William. Okay, there you go. Apply. Nobody found, because I put first. I got to use second because I want to connect it to William, remember? All right, there are 93 other lawyers who are connected to William. Now, if lawyers were my target market or your target market, now you can tell William is one of your customers who's had a great experience with you. William loves what you've done for them. William, would you mind if I connect with some of your people? And William might say, look, of course, or let me introduce you, and you can do both, okay? But you can connect here and say, hey, William is one of my clients, and he suggested that I connect with you. That's all you got to do, okay? And there's a nice, friendly warm introduction. But it's always good to talk to William before that. I won't do that, okay? But as you can see, there are 93 connections here. Now, even if I didn't do that, in this case, I put William. So that's a really cool tactic to use. But I don't want to connect with William. Now I got these connections here, right? And I want to show you, I'm going to say here all filters, and now you can even filter based on the university you went to. So there you go, you get another level of connection, or a company that they are working at, okay? And so you can go and make this is really powerful. The best part is you go and press apply, and then you can go and create a search alert. What I'm trying to show you is if you had 6,700 and you've created a search alert, as Jay Chirukumar connects with me, and Hemini and Tessa connect with me, their second level connections add on to my total number here. Think about it. Their second level, because these guys become my first level connections. So this 6,700 goes up, and this search alert sends me an email saying, hey, by the way, you got this new connections. That's super cool. All right, so that is a valuable tip for those who want to use LinkedIn. So that's what I was trying to show you here. So let's do a quick poll. Let's see whether, I want to know what you think. Have you guys found this useful? By the way, do not have to feel bad. If you be honest, tell us the way it is, right? So tell me whether you liked it, whether it was good, very good, whether it was crap, if that's fine too, or just a pass. Let's have a quick poll. Let me hear what you think. All right. Are you enjoying this? If so, let us know. Thank you very much. Thank you. Keep them coming. Thank you, everybody, for doing that. Look, these polls are really valuable for us. So we know whether you like it, whether we can improve it. And by the way, go to the chat and tell us what you liked it. And if you want us to do something else, if you want me to go faster, go slower, I'm going a bit slower this time because last time I had a bit more content and people said there's so much content and they were finding it hard to take it in. So I've kind of slowed it down. So I'd like to know what you think. All right, so that's awesome. Thank you very much. I'm going to end the poll. Much appreciated. Okay. Is it spam or is it cool? Testing drives results. I won't go through this, but testing is what we have to do. Whenever you do ads, whenever you do any post, look at the data and see what you're getting. Look at which posts are giving you better results, what times are giving you better results, and test and iterate. These are different types of ads we have done as well, just to see what works. So there is a formula to achieve success online, ladies and gentlemen. And you need to know what your formula is. And this is the best and the easiest way to save your time and get targeted results. You need to know what your win percentage is. And you also need to know what percentage of traffic that comes to your website that you can convert. Because it is that conversion that gives you leads, and it is this quality of these leads, the quality of these leads that gives you clients, and it is these clients that give us these sales. You guys are all running businesses. We don't need likes and shares. They're called vanity metrics. They're all good for engagement, but finally, how many leads are you getting? All that is about traffic to your website. So if you need to know more, in that advisory, if you haven't booked it, Faith, put a link there. So for the first 5 people, we might be able to offer it to about 2 more people, and we will try to see, depending on time, of course. You need to know the lifetime value of each customer. What are they worth to you over a lifetime? We need to calculate the cost of customer acquisition. Again, some of our advisors can help you to understand that. There's a program that I teach that you can understand that as well. Cost per click, conversion rate. So there are two universal truths in digital marketing. We did that. One is to drive the traffic, the right traffic onto your website and convert that traffic. So that's how you simplify digital marketing so that you get a business result. And this is a 5-step process that I shared earlier. Today is about awareness. Then you need to build your digital knowledge and the strategy. And you've got to go through this process so that once today, the stuff we did today was more aligned with social media, but do not drive traffic to your website if your website conversion data is showing very low conversion, if your bounce rate is high. So these are the things you need to do. Otherwise, you are spending money, you're spending time. As you know, time is very limited these days, and you're not getting results. So be very careful how you do it. It's about looking at the data, and we review and improve it, and you do this cycle until goal achievement. What we want for you is to transition from your traditional businesses to digitally successful businesses. We've had hundreds of businesses who really been able to achieve this in quick time. And I spoke to you about an FBAA member who's gone from here, and she's now at this stage and doing her improvements so that, and she can't believe what improvements has happened in a very short time, in less than 2 weeks. Absolutely, less than 2 weeks and very little time spent. This takes less than a day. I'm telling you, she said it took her less than a day to get all the knowledge she wanted. She's taken a business to a completely another level. Her thinking of a business has changed. She said it has changed her life. And this is not my words, it's her words. And this, I will introduce you to this program, how to do this, and to that program as well. To get the knowledge and the strategy, we've created a program which is called Futurize Foundation. This takes you less than a day to do it. In fact, it takes you only 6 hours, and that client who was on our webinar last week said she did it in a day. It focuses on 4 very important areas. How do you reinvent your business in troubled times? These are difficult times. They're not normal times, but you've got to reinvent your business. And how you've got to reinvent it in a way it transitions to this digital, as a digitally successful business, and you've got to do it fast. How do you create a digital and marketing infrastructure that is crisis-proof? That, you know, this probably won't be the last crisis we saw. We had the bushfires before that, the drought before that, the GFC before that. So we have to build crisis-proof businesses. Then you got to know your customer strategies. This is that customer stuff I said is essential for social media. Do not do your social media if you don't get that stuff right. The online advertising tips and tricks are fundamental, similar to what we did here, but a lot more depth. And by the time you do this, you will be a master. I'm telling you, I'm not joking. And that's what that lady said. It's only 6 hours because I've spent 600 hours to research for the content so that I bring in the best practice research across the world so that you can have it and you can do it in 6 hours. This is also the condensed version of a digital boot camp I used to run that took 2 days, and we had 3,000 people at a satisfaction rate of 94%. Again, we'll have data on that on our website. There'll be hundreds of testimonials on our YouTube of that. So now you can do this online at your leisure, and you have lifetime access. It's valued at over $1,000, and I still think it's undervalued at that price. I'm not joking. And we've on our website, it is selling at $596, and I think it's a steal at that. I'm not joking. That lady who did it said, Dinesh, you're doing social contribution to all us business owners because it is so valuable. And that was her words and not mine. However, because our partners have asked us, because of COVID, you can sign up for this today. If you sign up today, you can get it for half of that price. I said it was a steal at that price. It's a steal at this price. Okay, so if you would like to sign up, Faith will share a link. Go to that link. Faith, share that link for people to sign up, please. Okay, there you go. All right. Faith, if you can share the link, thank you for sharing the link. Go to that link and sign up, right? It's nearly free because you get another hour of digital strategy advisory with our advisors, just to let you know. Any one of our advisors would have worked with over 1,000 small businesses. They have an MBA at a minimum, and some of them have a master's in marketing from a uni like a UNSW. They know digital and they know business. They're not like anybody. We have a process, a framework we have created for NetStripe's strategy that is exclusively a NetStripe strategy for small business. So go and use it. By the way, this is not a hard sell. This is nearly free. The cost is negligible because we want you to transition to the digital age. Because our vision is that. Our vision is to help empower 1 million small and medium enterprises to do that. And that's why we have created all these innovations. Why you can do it in rapid time and achieve transition is because of that. By the way, if you have any questions today, go to the Q&A and I'll answer every one of your questions. I won't leave today. Natalie, thank you very much. Great to have you join us today. Guys, before you leave, just tell me what you liked about the session so that I know. And if you want me to improve on anything, change anything, let me know as well, because I'll take that as a compliment because, you know, it'll be much appreciated. So go to the Q&A, ask me any questions, okay? I know this stuff. When I first started social media on Twitter in 2009, in a very short time, I had 24,000 followers. That's how I really got earned my stripes on social media, and I had over 24,000 followers, and all these social media platforms follow common algorithms. You need to understand the algorithm, and then you get powered by it. Natalie, thank you very much. The tips were good. I gained a better understanding of what will work for me. Thank you. That's much appreciated. Anyone else before you go? Please sign up for the Futurize Foundation. It's, as I said, the cost is negligible. It was I thought it was a steal at $596 because people used to come from all over the country to do the digital boot camp, and I used to run that. We had over 3,000 people who've attended it. There's a 94% satisfaction rate, and now it's online. You can watch it from home. That lady from the FBAA, her name's Sonia Fitz, she said that a program like that, if she went and did it as a seminar, it would have cost her over $3,000. And she's right, because we were going to run our Futurize seminar at $3,000. All right, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. If you don't have any questions, I'll let you go. Hope you enjoyed this session. I thoroughly enjoyed having you. Look after yourselves and go forth and grow your businesses. Connect with me on LinkedIn, and I'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Look after yourselves. Thank you for your comments. Much appreciated.